Hey, this is Phil Lilley, Lilleys Landing Resort and Marina on Lake Taneycomo. Going to do one cast today. This is Sunday the 24th of May, Memorial Weekend. It's about 2 o'clock in the afternoon, I think, 1 o'clock. They're running 2 units of water. They didn't run any water this morning. I boated up here to look out, and I'll give you a little pan of where I'm at. I'm towards the top of the island on the main lake side, and I've got something it's very different on. This is called a chuck and duck rig. I am using an Axiom 2X Temple Fork rod. It's an 8-weight, 9-foot, 4-piece. I've got shooting line on. This is called Climax shooting line. It's a 20-pound. And onto that, I've got what they call a butt section of about 5 feet of 20-pound monofilament. I have a swivel, snap swivel, that's sliding on the butt section with a pencil lead attached with a hole in it. Got a little tool that makes holes in lead. I've got a barrel swivel and 4X tippet or 7-pound line to the fly. And it's about 3 foot of tippet to a number 14 tan perfect scud. I'm actually been catching them on a 12 gray scud and a tan scud. Doesn't seem to make a lot of difference. I first started using this technique in Michigan in the mid-80s. Jim and Tom Johnson out of Baldwin, Michigan on the Pere Marquette showed me this technique for catching salmon in the fall on the Pere Marquette. Since then, I use it a little bit here on Taneycomo, but I use it a lot up in Alaska. We catch a lot of big rainbows. We use it to catch salmon, char, really anything. And it's designed to, the shooting line cuts through the water. We don't use an indicator. There's no, or very little drag. Some people use, oh gosh, what this is called? It's a monofilament. I'll think of it in a minute. Amnesia, and it twists up a lot. This shooting line, which you really can't get anymore, the Climax, it's made by Cortland. You can't find it anymore, unfortunately. They quit making it, but there are other shooting lines and even running lines work. I'm using an 8-weight because I'm using weight, and the 8-weight handles the weight a lot better than like a 5 or a 6-weight. We use 7 weights and 8 weights up in Alaska for big fish. It's interesting up here, you've got clean gravel, which is real light in color, and then there's a line with dark gravel, and that's basically where the normal water line will be. The lighter color gravel has been exposed to the sun a lot and has kind of bleached that out. So basically what I'm trying to do is wade out and fish that water that's a little bit darker out there. That's where the fish are holding. I've caught about a half dozen rainbows, a couple of nice ones. But I'm gonna go ahead and try this, and you just kind of watch my technique. It's not casting so much as it is kind of flinging it out there, basically. It's a controlled throw. You throw it out there and it rolls across the bottom. You can feel that weight rolling across the bottom, and you will feel you'll feel a strike. It'll stop bumping, it'll pull. There's a lot of different ways to do it, of feeling the bite. So you want to cast it up, let it sink, and what I do is just kind of follow the line with the rod tip till it's almost directly downstream. Now always give it a set at the end, because you won't feel the bite if it's down there on the end. A lot of times the fish will be there. Last fish I caught, I did exactly that. I'm throwing a little bit upstream. You got to get the angle just right. You can adjust. You can pull a little line out, or you can reel a little bit of line in and get a little bit different path on your drift. What this does is basically puts that fly on the bottom. It's a lot better technique than using a float and a split shot, because that fly that's down below that indicator has a tendency to ride up a lot unless you have just a lot of weight. It's just hard. Plus, with this technique, if you have a hole or a place where it drops off, it'll drop off into that hole where a fly and an indicator will not. It'll kind of ride over the top. It just hugs the bottom so much better. It's starting to get cloudy all of a sudden. The sun was out. It was really pretty out here when I first came out. I've shortened my line a little bit. I'm fishing a little closer. I think I got out a little too far. And I hear a little bit of thunder. The wind's picking up. There's one. So when I set the hook, I'll set it down. I'll make a sweep, basically. So I'm setting it in the corner of his mouth. Yeah, we got some rain clouds coming in. This is a small one, which is really actually fortunate. I like to get him in here quick. And we use a lot of, like, okay. We'll use nymphs for rainbows. It's starting to rain. And that came out quick. Oh, should I even look at my app? See if it's going to come over me or if it's going to miss me. Because I wanted to go behind the island and kind of do the same thing. It's some little rain, just little tiny things. I see. They are just popping up. There was nothing there 20 minutes ago, and now they're all just kind of popping up. Whale. What's a little rain gonna hurt? Except maybe my sound stuff. This actually takes practice to get the feel of this, especially casting it. This is not as easy as it looks. Because like I said, it's not fly casting at all. It has no resemblance of fly casting, because all you're doing is throwing weight. There was a bump. By taking a couple steps, you're working a little bit different water. The other thing is you got to have the right amount of weight. If you have too much, it's going to get hung a lot. If you have too little, you're not going to be bumping the bottom like you're supposed to, so you can make a bunch of adjustments with your weight. And we use the pencil lead simply because it rolls on the bottom the best. Plus we can make adjustments. We've got a tool that can either cut the, well, it cuts the lead and then it pokes a hole in it so you can attach your swivel to it. It's called a lead master. But you can't buy those anymore either. There might be another company that makes them, but the ones I have were made in Oregon and they went out of business. It's basically a pair of needle nose with some things built in. They're hitting it right down at the bottom. I was picking them up in the fast water a minute ago. It's another pretty small one. There's Chuck Grease with some people, clients. I'm going to throw out a little bit further and see if I can pick off one out that fast water.
No, I do like the longer neck. You don't have to work them for as long.
Oh, there was one.
I do like that.
See that? I threw up too far. And that'll go to the bottom and get snagged up if you throw up too high. Oh, there was a good hit. I broke a fish off a little bit ago on the hook set. 7-pound line. A couple more. That's a little high. A couple more casts, then I'm gonna pick up and go behind the island and see what I can find. There are a lot of places here to fish around the island using this technique or with an indicator. And 2 units is perfect. Oh, that was a good hit. I can kind of see my fly pretty easy. Okay, I didn't feel the bottom on that one at all. One more good cast. Oh, gosh. I can't end on a miss. That was a good bite. I could use a little more weight. If I'm going to go out that far, the water's deeper and faster. And I really ought to put a little heavier weight on if I'm going to throw out that far. So I'm just not bumping bottom that hard out there. One more time. Come on, fish. Oh, I just had one chase my scud down below. And I said one more cast, about 5 casts to go. It's hard to quit this kind of fishing. Oh, come on. Well, I gotta check my hook. That's like 3 or 4 bites in a row. Oh, it's been out. I didn't check it after that last fish. Ugh. Okay, now I'm ready. A lot of that rain's going north. One more, for sure, for real. Okay, we'll go back behind the island and see what we can find. Okay, walking over the top side of the island to the back side. See those storm clouds. And looking down in the water, you can kind of see that line, I hope you can, I was talking about. A little darker water out there. I see a few fish out there holding. I'm gonna go ahead and try it here. I have not tried it here before. Well, I haven't been up here with the chucking duck. At all. I'm waiting, and I gotta watch my phone in my pocket. I've got a pair of wool socks on, neoprene booties, and wading boots. And I can't really feel the water on my legs. And the booties keep my feet warm. So it's, yeah, I'm afraid I've got too much weight on for this slow current. And that's what happens. Is it just goes to the bottom and sticks. So I think I'm gonna have to, I actually have several sizes of weights in my pocket. We'll see getting out there further if it I'm not real happy with that. I like that drift. That's about perfect. I actually don't see any fish out there. Doesn't mean they're not out there, but this is all experimental for me. I fished that on the main lake side before and caught fish, but this backside, upper side, I really haven't messed with it too much. So let's go on down a little ways. Well, we just had a shower come through and I had to bring in put my audio stuff in my pocket so it wouldn't get wet. It didn't rain for very long. Looks like it might be clear for a while. I took the opportunity to change flies. I've been using a gray one before and I just put that tan one on, and I put a gray back on. So fish, for whatever reason, I was catching fish and put that tan one on. It just wasn't working quite as well. Wasn't working at all. So I'm back down on the lower end. Now the sun comes out. Kind of on the lower middle end of the island. Trying the old chuck and duck. I'm getting a really good presentation. I can feel it just rolling across the bottom, but for whatever reason the fish are not eating it. Oh, I just saw one out there digging. Kind of felt like a bite. They're a little bit out farther than I've been fishing, the one I just saw. Like right in there. I'm gonna kind of work my way down a little bit. Oh, that was a nice one. Come on, guys. See him out there flashing. Okay, I can see some fish down below me. See if I can't put it in front of them. Right in there. I actually got some on this light gravel, so I can catch him. So, something else we do up in Alaska is we'll sight fish for rainbows. Eat it. They might not like that weight. Like I said, I'm working it a little bit shallower. Yeah, he kind of bolted when I jerked that time. There's a nice one down there. Oh, eat it. Oh, I think he ran after it. I pulled it away from him. Oh, he ate it and I missed him. Gosh. Back up just a little bit. Right there. Got him. That was cool. I really feel like I'm in Alaska. Sight fishing for rainbows. Usually they're about twice as long as these fish. I need to change weights because my weight's too heavy. They're not line shy when you're doing this, I guess. I'm using, like I said, 4X, 7-pound line. If I can't point this a little better. My line's not going to break, but that bug sure will pop out. Yeah, I don't have them very good. Pretty fish. So what I'm going to do is change the weight. So I'm just going to take that one off. Get my little box out. And I have swivels and weights in here. Get one that's just a little shorter, like that. I mean, I've got them as small as that. But I think this is going to work. Put that on there. Oh yeah, it's pretty cool. If they're in that, up in that light colored gravel where I can see them now. I like to position myself above or upstream of them so I can swing down through them like this. When that sun comes out, you can really see them. Now there's one down here a little further. I'm going to back up because I don't want to spook him. Sometimes you know about where your bug is, and the rainbow will swim over to it real quick. And you can set the hook even before you feel it, because you know he's swam towards your line. Oh, I thought he had it. I think I'm going over their heads. Back up a little bit. Now, I'm not trying to snag them. Snagging fish is no fun. And try to put it right in front of them. I'm back out in the dark gravel because I don't see them anymore. Oh, there's one right there. Sure like to catch that one. He has seen my bug several times, so I think he's refused it. It's right there. The whole backside of this island is fishable. So you can actually put several people back here and fish it. At 2 units, it's perfect. It's probably still pretty good at 3, but maybe not. It might be too much water. I like the angle. When I fished up here the other day with an indicator, I did a lot better back here than I did up there where I started. Today is just the opposite. I'm not sure why that is, because I'm really surprised I'm not catching any more fish, or catching more fish out here. And I know this area back here is just full of fish. And I know that they live on scuds back here too. I should be putting that heavier weight back on out here in this deep water. Well, I hope I taught you a little bit. I know to go out and get this kind of line and everything, I just keep an extra reel with this spooled on there in case I want to go out and try it. I don't use it much, but maybe get an idea and try doing this with floating line. You can do it, it's just a little more difficult. But thanks for watching. We'll see you again tomorrow.